Welcome to the HashTag show. Everyone's welcome, no one is safe. Welcome to the HashTag show. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. Welcome to the HashTag show. Chucky Arla, we are the people. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. The HashTag show.
Heroes, how are we? Back once again like an unwanted STD. Yes, the HashTag show is back for another week. I have returned from a semi-relaxing overnight spa break, and I find myself in times of trouble. Mother Mary comes to me. I find myself refreshed, uplifted, raring to f***ing go. How are we? How has your week been since we last spoke? There's been some changes in the studio, as there seems to be every week. I've moved the angle of the camera slightly in order to give a more what would you say, Gibbo? A more professional feel. That's all we're going for in this show. That is all we're striving for, is a professional feel. I still can't decide if I like it. This is the problem I have. I'm never comfortable. I'm constantly moving. I'm an enigma. I'm like water. I can't be pinned down. And if I find something that I think looks good, and then something niggles away at me, and I've got to change it. And now I have changed it and spent a good couple of hours the other night in the studio, stripping everything down, putting it all back together and readjusting it. And now I feel as if I don't know if I like this angle, because I'm looking at you, the heroes, the legends, and then I'm checking the monitors, and I don't know if I like the constant movement. Also feels quite dark in here. Get in touch, let me know. Get in the socials. Gibbo at Stark. Or hey, Gibbo, your heat's shining bright like a big, beautiful star in the sky. Mr. Ross back next week. Thank fuck. And guests coming in. Lots happening. But for now, it's another solo. It's just me, your old pal, DJ Gibbo. So how have you been? I hope you're all safe and well. Thanks to everybody who commented for the wee clips from last week's episode. Thanks to everybody who shared the episode. Also, thank you to I don't know her name, and I should have got her name, but I didn't. But thank you to the woman who got the one of the clips removed from TikTok, permanently removed, and a community flag strike stabbing. I don't know what the Chinese call it, but not happy with one of the videos that was put up about autisms, about the autistic X-Men. Now, here's my problem, right? And here's my rant. We're getting right into this early. Well, we still got the council. This was the point I was trying to make. Now, I get that my point may have been lost in a rant and a ramble of what could be classed as offensive words. But like we said last week, and like we're going to do moving forward, it's only words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, so grow the fuck up, you sad little. Now, the point I was trying to make with the whole autism, ADHD, late diagnosis rant was that there are people out there who have real autism, severe autism. You see them at the fitba. They've got ear defenders and a dog chew. Proper autism, right? As I was making a joke, the real autism where they can draw from memory and charcoal, or they can count cards. Like Redman, never find Qantas. That kind of stuff, right? That was the joke. But the message behind the joke is that there are sadly people who have real disabilities that stop them living a life. And there are a vast number of people who claim to have these disabilities when there is fuck all wrong with them other than being a fat, lazy. That was the point I was trying to make. All right? Meaning, those people who are unfortunate or fortunate, depending on how you see these things, to have someone in your life who's severely disabled, surely it must anger you to the point of violence when you see and hear of endless numbers of people claiming to have disabilities that they don't, or claiming to have conditions that they don't, and continue to either sponge off the government or just move about as in a day-to-day life, refusing to do things because they have a made-up condition. And we have allowed society to get to the point where people can say they have things when they clearly fucking don't. Like a or a We're also going to start bleeping until we get to that golden hero point, and then we can say and but until then, you know, we're going to have to beep it because we're being more professional in 2026. So that was my point. That was my point I was trying to make. Maybe it fell on deaf ears, or maybe my point was made perfectly by people don't actually listen to what's being said. They just listen to buzzwords. All right? So to the woman who commented, clueless, and then another comment about my child has, you know, and then reported it and the video got taken down. Listen, hen, fair fucks to you. I hope that made you feel better. I hope the wee man went easy on his dog chew that day. I hope you had a calm night. My point being, people like you are struggling. You deserve more help. And more stuff should be available for people with real disabilities. But we can't, because we're fucking coughing up tens of thousands, if no millions, to folk that just don't want to work, that are lazy fat bastards. Instead, your guys should have a different set of ear defenders for every day of the week, is the point I was trying to make. But hope you're all safe and well. Hope you've had a lovely ease into the new year. You may have seen, those of you eagle-eyed viewers, I have a new coffee cup, new mugs, new merch. Fucking new merch has hit the hashtag website. I'm telling you, man, this year, I'm not stopping, man. New mugs. Coffee mug, can we see that? Beautiful. Will we change camera? Let's change effing camera, shall we? Camera 3, talk to me. Look at that. Look at that. Hashtag mug, full of coffee right now. And I can say, without question, let me just enjoy this. Oh, dear God, coffee tastes better out of one of these mugs. Now, we don't just have the Facebook, YouTube logo mug. We also have another cup with a different mug, a different logo that you will have seen on the posters that gone up. Camera 3, look at that. Look at that. The hashtag show. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It's like a kind of American talk show logo almost. Can you see that? Look at that. Perfect. So yes, that's the mugs that are available on the website, hashtagshow.co.uk. There's some hats up there. There's a beanie. There's a t-shirt. There's a hoodie. And there's lots more coming very soon as well. Managed to find a great partner in Printful who are doing all of the legwork. We're just doing the designs and they're doing it all shit. So it's very professional. It's not like the old hashtag days. When meanwhile would ask you to send a Facebook post with what size a t-shirt you're and then collect it at the Classic Grand. No, it's professional. Return slips and everything. Sent directly to your house. You know, so you go on the hashtag website, hashtagshow.co.uk, hit the merch tab, search through the merch, find something that fits you, and I'm catering for the fuller figure like myself. We got up to a 5XL on the t-shirts and the hoodies. Grab yourself one of them. It'll whisk its way off to the deepest, darkest China, and you'll safe in the knowledge that a 5-year-old will be making your merch. So don't panic. Don't think for a minute, Gibbo, am I buying this and it's going to be, based locally? Is there someone who's being paid a living wage making this merch? Absolutely not. I can assure you of that. This merch will be at the hands of a child. Skilled hands of an Asian child. and they will use the level of detail that only comes with Chinese slave labour. That's how you know they're good. Made in China. I don't know where they're made. But they're very good. They're efficient. Merch thing was set up, done a wee test run. They've came through. They're brilliant. So get on the website, hit the merch tab, grab yourself some merch. Start the new year off. You know what'll taste better than a morning coffee? Morning coffee in a hashtag mug. That's what'll taste better. You might have tea. Cup of tea. You might be on a cleanse. You might be drinking hot piss in the morning. I don't know. Either way, buy a mug. Good. So, I was away in a wee overnight with the wife, with a good lady, and it was nice. It was nice and it was odd at the same time. I'm at that age now. I'm in my 40s, where I suppose going for like a wee overnight is now probably a nice thing. You know, it's not necessarily something you do in your 20s. A wee overnight break with a wife, a wee dinner, bed and breakfast, if you will. That's more an older thing, you know. The only way you're maybe doing that in your 20s is if you don't have anybody to pump. So you need to go on the old booking.com, something within a 20-mile radius, usually a Premier Inn, and then go there and make sweet passionate love to your other half for hours. But now that you're a bit older, you'd still like to be able to do that, but you're married, and the wife will shut down any of those suggestions quite quickly. So you've got to entice her in with a dinner, bed and breakfast, But lovely hotel. Got a suite. Odd thing happened where I checked in and paid for the upgrade. Got the room keys. I don't know if it's ever happened to you. You pay for an upgrade. You then take the room keys. You assume because you've been handed room keys that the person on the reception desk knows what they're doing. You go into the room and lo and behold, you're just in a fucking standard room and you think to yourself, that's kind of a bit right. And you go back downstairs and you go, I'm very sorry, but I did ask for a suite. I did actually pay for a suite, and I don't know, because if that is a suite, then you can stick up your ass. And then, the usual panic and, oh, my mistake. Oh, it's not my mistake, is it? Finally getting the right room. Lovely. Lovely big room. The only thing I'll say is this, right? It's now changed my mood board, my manifestation charts for 2026, because for a while now, I've wanted a hot tub at Gibson HQ. I went away a few years ago. They had a hot tub in this kind of enclosure thing in the back garden. I was in it every night. It was wonderful. Wonderful until it was at a time when there was almost a Category 6 hurricane happening. And I did think it's quite cool because I was outside in a hot tub getting steaming as what felt like the opening credits to End of Days was happening, right? It was just trees were fucking rushing, bits of garden furniture were getting blown about. Somehow I was perfectly contained in this little enclosure stroke hot tub stroke heaven. And it was great, and I thought, see when I get home, I'm going to build one of these in my garden. I'm going to get a hot tub. I'm going to have an enclosure. I'm going to be in it 24/7, come rain or shine. And then I speak to some people who have got hot tubs, and it seems to be the common thing amongst hot tub owners. I don't know if any of you legends out there have a hot tub. If you do, get in touch. Contact #show@gmail.com or drop us a message in the socials with the tag Hot Tub Gibbo. Let me know. But the common thread seems to be, if you have a hot tub, you use it every day for about a week and a half when you first get it. And then you got to clean the bastard and you realise, fucking hell, this is a job and a half. And then you're never in it again until you have like a party or something, or the Waynes are round. And they're like, can we go in the hot tub? And then you go, aye, okay, aye, fair enough. And then you got to clean it. And then you get angry. And then you don't use it. And then you've got a 10 grand investment just sitting at the back. You're like, we could have went on an absolutely fucking belting holiday for that. So the idea of a hot tub is one of those things where in reality, it's maybe not as wonderful as it is, but I wanted one, right? And I spoke to a mate who had one, and he's like, Gibbo, it's a fucking bollock. And then we went for this overnight. And in the hotel, in the room, in the bathroom, was a massive jacuzzi bath. Now, I'm not from the 1800s. I have had a jacuzzi bath before. In fact, in a house that I rented not that long ago, I had a jacuzzi bath, and it was great, but it was just a bath size, a single person jacuzzi bath. And again, one thing I would suggest with the jacuzzi baths is when you go into some hotel rooms, it will have like wee signs up saying, especially in the bathroom, you might get them, it'll say like, it'll be like a voltage thing, right? So it's basically saying, hold on. My God, that sneeze just came out of nowhere. It'll be saying things like, telling you what you can and can't plug into the fucking electric thing in the mirror in the bathroom, right? Whatever. But there should be something on the wall, or just take you aside at reception. Just when you're checking into a nice hotel and you get the keys, to say, Mr. Gibson, enjoy your stay with us. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to give us a call at reception. Right? That's what she said. Okay? After the apology. Here's what they should have said. Mr. Gibson, thank you very much for staying with us. We hope you enjoy your stay here. If there's anything else you need, please don't hesitate to give us a call. And as they're handing the keys over to you, just hold on to the key, right? So there's a slight half a second of tension, and then you just lean in and they'll say, whatever you do, don't put any more than a quarter bottle of bubble bath in the jacuzzi bath. A great time, Mr. Gibson. And you would go and you would be like, what did she say there? And you would go into the room and you would see the jacuzzi bath and you go, she said, don't, whatever you do, don't put more than a quarter bottle of bubble bath in a jacuzzi bath, because here's what you don't realise. You will run the water, you'll put your bubble bath in, you'll think that's optimum bubbles for a bubble bath, right? And then you'll turn the bubbles on, and you'll be covered in bubbles. You'll be in a bubble prison. All right, and you'll think to yourself, turn the waves off, turn the bubbles off, and it'll subside. And you'll think, in the name of God, thank fuck for that. And you'll get 5 minutes, and you'll think, it'll be all right. And you'll put it on, and then it'll multiply. They're like gremlins. And if you don't know how much bubbles you should have in a bubble bath or a jacuzzi bubble bath, it's a very simple method. You lie in the bath with the bubbles, and with a full erection, the bubbles should just come to the tip of your penis. That is the right amount of bubbles in a bubble bath. Excuse me. You should lie in a bath, fully erect, and just briefly, the top of your bell end should be slightly visible from the bubbles. Just enough to give a hint that there is an erect penis in there, and that's it. You're effectively Nessie. The bubbles are Loch Ness, and your erect penis is the Loch Ness monster, and you just want enough to be visible through the bubbles that an American tourist would quickly take a photograph. That's the right level of bubbles in a bubble bath. You are a Russian submarine sneaking across Greenland to attack America. That is the right level of bubbles for a bubble bath. That's it, if ever you know. Forget a sign of how much bubbles to put in. It should just be a wee picture of Nessie just popping its head above the bubbles, above the line of the bubbles. And that's it. That's how you know you get the right amount of bubbles. So obviously we had too much bubbles in. As you do, and as in life, a jacuzzi bubble bath is a metaphor for life. You learn from your mistakes. You have to make mistakes in life and learn from them to grow. God knows I have made many a mistake in life. And you learn from that and you grow. And that's what a jacuzzi bubble bath is. It's a perfect test because you will fuck up. You will fuck up at the start. The first time, you'll go crazy. And then you'll make the mistakes. And the mistakes will be you'll cover your whole fucking top of your house in bubbles. And then you'll learn. You'll go in again. You'll go in more cautiously. You know? And you'll listen to what I said in Gibbo's words about ringing in your ear. And you'll be maybe getting into the jacuzzi bubble bath. And you might be there with your other half. You might be in the big bath beside you. And you're like, oh, what a great night. And she might say something daft like, put some more bubbles in. There's not enough bubbles. And you'll be like, hold on a minute, hen. I need to do the Nessie test. And she'll be like, what's the Nessie test? And that's when you start. That's when you get full Nessie. And you just ask her for the bottom of the bath, can you see the top of my helmet? And if she says, what helmet? Jackpot. Perfect amount of bubbles. If she says, put that away, you know you need more bubbles. That's it. So I had a jacuzzi bath in the bathroom. Loved it. It's the first time I've had like a massive one. You could fit 2 people in it, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. You could fit 2 people in it. And now I've decided that instead of a hot tub, I want that in my house. My bathroom's fine, but I know that probably 2 to 3 years, we're going to need to get a new bathroom. Well, we don't need to, but we'd want it. So when we do the bathroom up, jacuzzi baths get in, and I'm just going to recreate that hotel room, but a little bit less schemy. That's the only way I can say. Now, listen, it was a lovely hotel room, all right? But I'm sure most of you have stayed in a hotel very similar. Now, I don't know if there is a warehouse somewhere, and if you buy a hotel in Scotland, you go to this warehouse and you tell them what you're looking for, and then they just say, listen, don't worry about it, we'll sort it out. All right? Now, this hotel, now again, this is going to sound bad. This is going to sound like the autism thing. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't just listen to the words. All right? Listen to what I'm saying. Don't just listen to the words. And even if I say words that you go, in the name of Christ, I don't mean anything by it. I've said this before on many occasions. Other than my wife, my stepdaughter, my dogs, and my immediate family, and my 3 best pals, I don't give a fuck about anyone or anything. That's the way you should live your life. So, they've obviously gone into the warehouse and they've said, we've opened a new hotel in Dumfries. They went, fantastic, welcome to the hotelier world of Scotland. How can we help you? Well, we're obviously looking to decorate the hotel. And they went, I'll stop you right there. Do you know what kind of vibe you're looking for? And they've said, do you know exactly what we want? We want luxury for people who don't have money. We're looking for an Asian wedding held at B&M. That's what we're looking for, right? In fact, what is that shop called? Because that shop is exactly what it is. The feck is Google on here. What's it called? Oh, it's called The Range. It's called The Range. If you had an Asian wedding in The Range, this is what that hotel will look like. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and imagine that. And if you can't imagine it, let me tell you, there's a lot of gold. And when I say gold, I don't mean actual gold. I mean gold accents. There is textured wallpaper. There's a lot of curtains. There's a lot of curtains for no reason. Again, gold curtains. All of the furniture in the suite was glass. Now let me say that again, because that can shock some people. All of the furniture in the suite was glass. The bed, the frame of the bed, was glass. The bedside tables were glass. the dresser, the tables that the televisions were on were all glass. Again, it's a very particular look that I have only ever seen in hotels that cater mostly to Asian weddings. Now, I don't know what it is about our Asian brothers and sisters that love scheme furniture, but they do. You know, they do. And maybe that's why we'll just love everyone in Scotland. Maybe that's why we all just get on. There's an underlying sensation in all of us, because none of us have money. Let's be truthfully honest. And even any Scottish people that do well in life and then become wealthy or get a bit of money, 9 times out of 10, in fact 99% of the time, they came from scum. So we have that in us. You know, it's a hotel that's designed by people who have no money but think this is what people with money would buy to decorate their house. It's the range. It's if you had a blank check and you sent your Aunt Sandra to the range, this is how she'd decorate a hotel. All it was needing was live, laugh, love. That's all it was needing. That's all it was needing, or a glass dachshund statue somewhere. Which I'm sure if I'd kept looking, I would have found it. Now, great sleep, which is the main thing, right? Nice time, nice breakfast, great bath. And here's the thing that I wanted to ask, right? Here's the question that I wanted to ask you, to ask the heroes and the council. I obviously am married. I'm in my early 40s. The wife and I have only been together a couple of years. I think 3 and a bit years. Married 2 years this April, right? We went for a dinner. I want to say that there was, let's say for argument's sake, 14 other couples in this bit of the restaurant that we were sitting in, right? Now, we were the youngest by far. By far. But we were also the only couple who were talking to each other. And I don't mean we couldn't hear anybody talking. I mean not a single couple who were eating their dinner spoke a fucking word to their other half. Now, there are some, I don't want to say elderly, I don't want to say elderly, but there are some old cunts that listen to this podcast, right? Because you've been in touch. I speak to you. There's some older people who listen to this podcast. By older, I mean, late 50s onwards. There's some old people, and if you're like, I'm no old, Gibbo, I'm only 58, you're old. Just accept it. Nothing wrong with it. You're just old. But there's old people that listen to this, and I love you. You're brilliant. My question is this. At what age do you get to where you just don't speak to your other half? No, there could be some of you sitting listening to this going, Gibbo, I haven't spoke to that cow for fucking I live in the same house as her, and I haven't spoken to her in 3.5 years. Is that an age thing, or is that a time thing? Is that they've been together so long they have got nothing else to talk about? Or is that just old school? They hate each other, but they refuse to separate. I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. Get in touch. Let me know. Send me a message. Send me a voice note. Send me an email. Get me on the socials. Drop me the DMs. Is it a time thing, or is it an age thing? So am I going to get to a certain age where I just no longer talk to my wife and I sit and eat my dinner in silence? Or is it going to come to a point where we have been married for so long that we no longer speak to each other? What is it? Get in touch and let me know. Because I kid you not, when I sat down, and I'll go on to something else in a minute, right? When I sat down, I'm looking behind my wife, and there are two elderly couples behind us, right? And if I had to guess, I'd say 70s, right? Old cunts. They had, one was on a starter, one was just getting served their main. So they had a pudding. The starters had starter, main, pudding. They had a full bifter, right? Clean sweep. Not a word was fucking spoken. Not to the point where not even when the food went down, oh, that looks bloody lovely, Alec. Nothing. Not a word was spoken. Finished their dinner, got up, fucked off. Is that what I've got coming? Is that what happens? You just shut down. No, even that looks like a cracking bit of mashed potato you've got there, Sandra. Oh, what it says your onion rings, Alec. Bloody, nothing. Nothing at all. So I don't know. Let me know. What have I got coming to me? What have I got to look forward to in my old age? But it was nice. It was nice to get away. It was nice to have a wee night away. And aye, it was great. I suggest you do it. I'm going to try and do that more. I saw this thing about, you need to make more time for your partner, your wife, or your husband. And you should. And if you're listening to this and you're married, I was going to say something. If you're listening to this and you're married, drive off the road. Don't do that. If you're listening to this and you're married, cancel your Tinder account. If you're listening to this and you're married, she knows. She knows. No, if you're listening to this and you're married, I'm sure you're happily married. And if you're not happily married, why are you not happily married? Ask yourself the question. Communication's key, as they say. As long as what you're communicating is something she wants to hear, otherwise communication is your downfall. There's the clip. There's the message for this week's episode. Communication in a marriage is key and the key to happiness. Unless what you're communicating is not what she wants to hear, then you should have kept your mouth shut and gone with it. Always communicate. Happy marriages are built on communication. Unless what the man is communicating to the woman is something she just does not want to hear, and then you've absolutely done yourself in there, Franco. If you're married and you're listening to this, look after your wife, because I'm sure she looks after you, and you need to spend time together as a couple. That's the big thing, right? Because this last year, well, I would say the last 6 months, my wife and I have done very little together because both of us have been so busy. She has been working so hard, building up her business, working crazy hours. She's done amazing. What she's done in less than a year, from leaving her job as a PE teacher to setting up her own business, getting into her own studio, building a client list, building up, is unbelievable. What she's done is incredible. There are people who have left a full-time job to go and start their own business who haven't even done in 3 years what she's done in less than a year. I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of her. However, I was going to say, my boss have gone unhummed for too long. However, we're not spending any time together. And you can get very easily into that rhythm of, you go to work, you come home, I'll get a stepdaughter, her way, Doug's family life, cooking, cleaning, fucking sleeping, back to work again, right? And you've got to make an effort. You've got to make an effort. You've got to shave your buzz. You've got to be smelling nice. Because you never know when the time might strike. And you've got to be good to go. You've got to be like an SAS operative. Right? That's your... As a man, I would say for 35 onwards, you are an SAS commando. You've got to be ready to go at the drop of a hat. Right? And now that could be it. Doesn't have to be sexual. Right? It could be a night out. It could be taking the wife out for dinner. It could be a wee overnight. It could be a holiday. It could be a break. Or it could be, if you're really lucky, your fucking jam roll. But you need to be ready to go at the drop of a hat, like the SAS. Sitting in the command centre, waiting for the call. They've stormed the embassy. Boom, you're in. Can't be fumbling about. I've not shaved my balls in 3 weeks. None of that. Ready to go. I feel a cold coming on, man. I'm sniffing like a fucking cocaine addict. So yes, she's working hard. I'm working hard. Building the studio up. Try to get the podcast moving again. But you've got to make time for each other, right? So if you're married, or you've got a missus, or if you're a heroine listening to this and you've got a husband or you've got a boyfriend or whatever you've got, whatever flavour of person you've got, you need to make time for each other. It could be very simple as, you know, the one who doesn't normally cook, maybe cooking dinner one night, maybe sitting watching something they want to watch a shite film, you know. For example, I could cook my wife something that she wants to eat and then I'll sit and watch Top Gun without commenting. That would be enough. You know, I won't point out that in every single scene everybody's sweating like fuck. I won't point that out. I won't make comments on how, you know, homoerotic the film is. I won't do that. I'll just let her enjoy the film. Something like that. Every couple of weeks, maybe you go out for dinner. You know, maybe you take her for a walk, round B&M and Home Bargains, and you give her £5 to spend, and she's happy as Larry. And then maybe every 2 months, every 3 months, you go for a wee overnight somewhere. Doesn't need to be fancy. You know, get yourself on last minute or something like that, and book something. Take her away, treat her. But make time together. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Make time for each other and make time for your relationship, because seeing that, sitting in that restaurant and seeing those couples eating together in absolute silence, it didn't break my heart. I wasn't sitting going like, oh, that's dead sad, and they're not even talking. I was just watching it going, there's fucking not a chance that's going to be us when we're in our 60s and 70s. Not a fucking chance. And I suppose you only get there by working a relationship and not letting it die off. Don't let the embers die out, because otherwise you'll be sitting in a 4-star hotel in Dumfries, surrounded with pensioners in fucking silence, as you watch this woman try and soak a fillet steak, because she's obviously not put the fucking gum glue in her dentures and she's struggling to chew the thing. Another thing I'm going to add, right? I don't think a lot of young men understand, is it chivalry? Etiquette? Is that the right word for it? I don't think a lot of young men understand how they should conduct themselves. Let's just say in a restaurant setting, right? I observed a couple of people in the last 2 weeks doing things which, now I don't know, I don't think I was ever taught them. I think it's just stuff that's instinctive, and I think it's came from cinema and television. And but then I don't know if, certainly no one, and I never had a daddy growing up. My dad, we're not going to get into that now, right? But I never had I had a role model. What are you talking about? I had a father figure in my grandfather, but I never had somebody day to day going, right, Gibbo, this is what you do. That's how you put on a Johnny. This is how you talk to. But never had that, right? So I don't know where the kind of chivalry stuff has came from, but it's just in you. I think most men understand it. Now, the examples of this, right? When you are walking with a lady, I think we all know that the gentleman should walk in the inside facing the road. I think we all know that, right? And I'm seeing this more and more, that young men don't know that. And that's basics, right? I think we're seeing more and more that young men don't realise you're meant to pay for dinner. Again, there'll be people going, no, Gibbo, it's modern times. Fuck your modern times. Personally, I would be not offended, but I'd be annoyed, right? If we were out for dinner or lunch or anywhere and my wife tried to pay for things, that would annoy me. I'd be like, what are you doing? And not in a, how dare you? I think it's just something that you do. I personally think, as the man in the relationship, if you go out for dinner, the wife and the Wednesday there, you pay for it. That's it. You balance things out elsewhere in the relationship if you're going 50-50. I don't personally think that your other half should be paying for stuff. That's how I feel, right? And I don't think young men know that. I also don't think that young men understand the etiquette of restaurants. So, you're standing, you go into a restaurant, you say, table for two, let me check, 1, 2, yes please, table for two. And the waiter will say, follow me. Now, as a man, what you should do is you should take a step back and you should allow your wife, your girlfriend, your partner to go first. Right? That's what you should do. And you follow them through to the table. The waiter seats you at the table, and this is the perfect example, right? You will have a table where there is a table, one chair, and then it's a kind of booth kind of system at the back, right? Your wife always, or your partner, always sits at the back, and you sit at the chair in the kind of, on the table, if that makes sense, right? Because the way it's meant to be is your only view should be the person you're with. So that's it. Your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, she sits in front of you, you sit here, and the only thing you can see is her, right? So if her back is to the wall and she can look out and see the restaurant and see everything, that's the way it's meant to be, because your attention should only be on your wife. And I saw it 2 weeks ago. A young guy. Now, what I say is maybe early 20s. He could even have been younger. I don't know. Not a fucking hair in his chin. And he walked in and he sat at the booth. And I remember him saying, she went, I'll sit in there. And I went, no, I want to see what's going on. And he sat in the booth and I was like, listen to me, man. You want to see what's going on? Who the fuck you're talking? That's not how it works. So if we're going to start getting back into society where, we're not getting it. We're fed up with this nonsense. That's fucking bullshit, right? We're going back to the old school. We need to go back to the old school chivalry as well. Young men need to realise they've got to walk on the road in case a fucking motor hits them and they're dead, because you serve no purpose, right? Protect women at all costs. Okay? You walk on the road side of the road. She walks on the inside. You see her at a table. Your only view is her. She is your world. She can look over her shoulder, look what's behind you, what you want, but your focus is on your wife, and you pay for the dinner. And that's it. Let's start with the basics, right? We need to start getting like a tally list. If your autism can't count cards, your disability's getting stopped. The cash guy's coming back after you, and you're fucking going back to work. If you're taking a bird out for a dinner, you're paying for it, Franco, and you sit in that seat, and she's your focus. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve a bird, you wee dick. And if you're in your 60s and you don't speak to each other, fucking leave. Chuck it. It's not like the old days when you've got nowhere to go. Men know how to cook. We know how to clean. Right? And if you're worried about that, there's plenty of refugees out there. Fucking move one in the house and they'll do the house work for you. Oh, God. Right, what time? What have we got to talk about? We need to talk about the protest in Iran. What else have I got written down here? We need to talk about Trump in Greenland, man. It's fucking getting wild up there. Hot honey. We need to... Right, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to say goodbye to the council, and we're going to move into the hero section of the show. So, thanks very much to all the council scumbags for listening up to this point. As always, these are legends. Eventually you're going to come over. I know you're going to become a hero eventually, right? But for now, he's just only, you're dipping, I don't know. You're dipping your toe and you're unsure. Fine, I get it. You're scared. I understand that. Change can be scary. You've been a council listener all your life, and you think, Gibbo, I want to, but I don't believe in myself. I believe in you. I believe in you. There's a hero inside you. From the inside, so strong. There's a hero inside you. Come hashtag hero. Patreon.com/the hashtag show. Go to the website, thehashtagshow.co.uk. Check out the merch. Follow the links to become a hero. And you can enjoy the rest of this episode, last week's episode, next week's episode, every episode in its entirety. No breaks, no ads. So do that. And in the meantime, we'll play the jingle and I'll speak to you all very soon.
Your time as a council scumbag is ending. Become a hashtag hero to continue. Your time as a council scumbag is ending. Become a hashtag hero to continue. Last train for scum.
Bye, Council. See you next week. How you doing, guys? That's as we just finished the episode. Thank you to those of you who are our little council listeners. We've just done the hero section. If you missed it, the best way to get the episode, well, the only way to get the episode, is to become a hashtag hero on the Patreon, patreon.com/the hashtag show. We were talking about Trump, Greenland. We were talking a little bit about the ice people. We were talking about the situations with the Iranians. There's some political chat in there. There's loads of stuff. There's more bits and pieces for the heroes only in the hero section. So if you want to hear this episode in its entirety and every episode going forward, become a hero on Patreon. Patreon.com/the hashtag show. If you can't become a hero, that's cool. Subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on Spotify and share the podcast on your social medias. Help the channel grow. Help the podcast grow. And hopefully we'll get some more council listeners in next week. I'm back next week with Mr. Ross, the wonderful Ross Ferguson will be joining me, and we'll be back next week. If you've got any questions or topics, fire them over. You can get the hashtag show on Facebook, we're on Instagram, or drop us a message. Go to the website, thehashtagshow.co.uk. You can send us a message there, drop us a wee email, get in touch on the socials if you've got a question or a topic, and we will get to that next week. So that's us. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care of yourselves. Love, as always, is our currency. And I will, I'll see you next. Oh, get some merch. Get yourselves a mug. There's t-shirts, there's hats. Go on the website, hit the merch tab, get yourself some merch. And, I love yous. Council, I love yous. I love the heroes a wee bit more. These are brilliant. I can't deny it. I love you. Speak to you next week. Take care of yourself. Onwards.
Goodbye, dear hero, it's been a blast. For another week we say adios. If you came as friend or even foe, then you should become a hashtag hero. Spread the show as far as you can. 1 million heroes or a lifetime ban. All we do is speak our minds. We hope you're around for the ride. We are the hashtag show. Everyone's welcome. No one is safe. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. This is the hashtag show. Become a hashtag hero. Become a hashtag hero. Become a hashtag hero. Until next